science. In the heart of the Whispering Woods, the bell at the Hollow Oak School chimed. Mr. Paw, a cat with very neat whiskers and a pair of spectacles perched on his nose, stood at the chalkboard. Today was a special day. Class, he purred, drawing a bright yellow triangle. Today we are going to learn the secret of the flame. We are going to learn why fire burns. Carbo the badger raised a paw. Mr. Paw, what does fire eat? It seems to gobble up everything it touches. Mr. Paw nodded. Excellent question, Carbo. Fire needs 3 things to exist, and the first is fuel. Fuel is the food for the fire. It can be wood, paper, or even the gas in a stove. Without something to eat, the fire simply cannot start. But fuel isn't enough on its own, Mr. Paw continued as Oxy the otter tilted his head. It also needs something from the air. Can anyone guess? Oxy sniffed the air loudly. Is it oxygen? Mr. Paw beamed. Spot on, Oxy. Fire needs to breathe just like us. It takes oxygen from the air and mixes it with the fuel. This is the second side of our triangle. Vesta the sparrow fluttered her wings. But Mr. Paw, my nest is made of twigs and there is plenty of air, but it doesn't just burst into flames. Mr. Paw chuckled. You're right, Vesta. We need the third side, heat. To start the reaction, we need enough energy to get the molecules moving fast enough to break apart. Once they get hot enough, snap. The fire begins. Mr. Paw carefully lit a tiny candle on his desk. Look closely, he whispered. When the fuel, the oxygen, and the heat all meet, a chemical reaction happens called combustion. The molecules in the wood or wax are breaking apart and rebuilding themselves into something new. This change releases a huge amount of energy all at once. Carbo and Vesta leaned in as close as they safely could. Is that why it's so bright? Vesta asked. Yes, Mr. Paw's voice echoed from the front. That energy comes out as light that we see and heat that we feel. The burning is actually the sound and sight of that energy escaping as the fuel turns into gas and smoke. Now, how do we stop a fire? Mr. Paw asked, looking at Oxy. We have to break the triangle, Oxy suggested. Exactly, said Mr. Paw. If we take away the oxygen, the fire goes out. If we take away the fuel, the fire goes out. And if we take away the heat, the fire goes out. We must always respect the flame and know how to handle it safely. Mr. Paw took a clear glass jar and slowly lowered it over the small candle. Carbo watched with bated breath. As the jar touched the table, the flame began to flicker. It grew smaller and smaller, turning into a tiny blue speck before finally disappearing in a thin wisp of white smoke. No more oxygen, Carbo whispered. And what about water? Vesta chirped. Oxy chimed in. Water cools it down. Mr. Paw nodded. That's right. Water removes the heat side of the triangle so quickly that the reaction can't keep going. When you see steam, that's the water working hard to soak up all that energy and turn the fire's heat into vapor. As the sun began to set over the hollow oak, the students packed their bags. They now knew the secret of the flame. Mr. Paw smiled, satisfied that his students were a little bit wiser and a lot more careful. Remember, he called out, science is everywhere, even in a tiny spark.